Yeah, this is very interesting. Why rappers stop writing. The punch-in method. If you guys have ever been to a recording studio and had rappers come in, back in the day, which, I mean, I'm not that old. I was born in the 90s. I would see people come in with a clipboard or they have the lyrics on their phone. Nowadays, a lot of these rappers, they just come in and they just go off the top. It's called the punch-in method. So let's check this out. That's what they do. I forgot. I don't know if there's like a specific way to call this, but it's like you're trying to get the ideas in your head. You like speak it into existence. So that's what they're kind of doing right here. So it sounds like they're mumbling and shit, but they're really prepping the bars.
A lot of people picture like modern rappers
they're
who really just like pen and paper in the studio, writing down their raps, figuring it out, scratching it out, changing it.
Yeah, no.
The Eminem days.
We stopped writing a long time ago. Not many people write.
I think they need to start writing again because a lot of these rap lyrics be fucking mid, bro. I'm just not.
Back in the day when people were just using tape, you just had one take.
To hear Doechii say that
so
is
everybody
very
had to be on
surprising.
point.
It used to be a time before the 24 track, for instance. If a singer went in, you had to sing that top to bottom, baby. You had to have it figured out.
Did.
Most music up until about 20 years ago was always recorded on tape. It's more of a process.
Y'all see what he's doing right there? So back in the day, whenever you had to repeat the bars, or I mean, if you guys are, some of you guys may be like audio engineers or have experience doing this type of stuff, but whenever you would loop parts of the music, they had to literally go through and cut the sections of the music that were recorded off the tape and then like literally copy and paste them and on like that. It's very interesting. Nowadays, I could just open up a computer screen and Control C, Control V all over the place. So
it's a lot more laborious,
come a long way.
A bit more tedious.
Yeah.
I've watched Tupac giving a speech. Hey, we have 2 hours of studio time. Come here, prepared.
We don't have time or the luxury to spend all of this time doing one song. We don't have it.
Fast forward a little bit. Word starts to spread, mid to late 90s that Jay doesn't actually write any of his rhymes down.
I mean, so you literally come in the studio and then formulate sentences in your head.
Yeah.
And then spit it to that beat.
Yeah.
And you never write down the lyrics.
Never.
Which leads to other rappers wanting to do the same thing.
That's very interesting. I mean, it's cool because you could just punch in like they're doing now. You could just say a few of the words. They play it back in your head, whatever you think off top. So you're literally just writing it on the microphone, per se.
But that Jay wasn't writing, I didn't want to ever see a pen or paper again.
First in the lunch line, my lunch ticket let me eat rappers at lunch.
What I know is when you see your hero can jump 7 feet, it makes you want to jump 8.
Yeah.
You telling me you falling out of love?
Oh yeah, this guy's notorious, man. Not gonna lie, Future sounds like he don't write shit, which is cool because if you really just have these ideas in your head and you got a very good audio engineer that can make you sound like something, Future's that guy, bro. Do you love the way I do it? I'm loving you, buddy. Yeah.
The problem is that not all of them are as great or as capable of doing it.
Yeah. Turn me up in my ear. I'm leaving that body. I bet this big catching body. I bet this big catching body.
God, you ever write raps down?
That's no pen, no pad. They're just going in and punching in.
Punch method.
Punching recording.
Punching 3 more bars.
Yeah.
I ain't never wrote.
Like punch-in recording. If you are an audio engineer and you're dealing with fucking rappers, you better know what you're doing because these rappers, from my experience, being in the room with these rappers that be doing this shit, they get real mean, man. They get real because their mind is like churning when they're trying to get these lyrics out, and they're constantly talking to the engineer. So you're like constantly just clicking, and they're like, okay, rewind it. Oh, go back. So you're kind of like working with the rapper as he's recording this shit. Like it's a lot of attention to detail.
I just be rapping.
And you better know what you're doing because these niggas be like kind of rude in the studio. I'm not gonna lie.
I punch in. All right.
Today, Pro Tools is essentially like the pen and paper.
And that's where it becomes this different type of art form.
It's improvisational versus writing the stand-up piece. You know what I mean?
It's like freehand versus tracing.
Oh, okay.
Keep that part from me. Just punch me in.
Yeah, see, he's prepping it.
The artist might not really have the song written, but they're not necessarily freestyling in the traditional sense where they're just going in and saying the first thing that comes to mind and they're doing that for 4 minutes straight.
I'm trying to think of punching in like saying one bar at a time.
I got these resin can't fold in the wallet, you making the peasant. I got these resin can't fit in the wallet, I'm stacking the bigger deposit.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. These songs sound like they don't write them, bro. They sound like it. A lot of these songs really don't have a lot of quality as far as their lyrics. It's cool. They're catchy. I think Future's the best one to do all this shit because he just sounds good. He's got a nice timbre, which is a unique voice. He can work with his audio engineer to get that auto-tune to make him sound like he's singing good and all this shit. And, you know, he thinks of some catchy shit. But everybody else, it just sounds like, bro, it sounds like you niggas is right. Like, it sounds like you're coming off the dome. It's either you talking or the marijuana talking for you. I don't know.
One line at a time.
Hit the store and don't leave them dead bodies. Hit the store and don't leave them dead bodies. Hit the mall and don't leave them dead bodies. Hit the store and don't leave them dead bodies.
Then you say the net bar, then you say the bar out there, and you play it all together, you sound like a whole sentence.
Yeah.
I got these resin can't fit in the wallet, I'm stacking a bigger deposit. Hit the store and don't leave them dead bodies. Book a fly and get high and high.
They're using punching in as a way to create their rhymes as opposed to a way to correct their rhymes. It's I feel it's really just a generational thing.
But you don't.
Oh, Just Blaze said it himself. He thinks it's a generational thing. Interesting.
I think you could end up with something better if you sometimes wrote some stuff.
No.
It's just not for you.
Nope. That.
Rap has grown. Rap has evolved. And there's always good.
Interesting. I wonder whether they're so against that. It's really not that difficult. I don't know. But like I said, a lot of these guys sound like they get higher of their mind. I don't know if you guys have ever been like inebriated. I don't smoke weed, but I know when I'm around some dudes that do smoke weed, their mind just locks in. It's almost like they just took a whole box of Adderall. And if they think about playing the piano or rapping or whatever, they can freestyle off of their minds. And it's actually pretty good. So
bad when it comes to evolution. What we're seeing is a lot of the same lane being explored over and over again.
Yeah.
People think, oh, they just rap about this, or they're just rapping about like the easy rhyme scheme or the easy, but to be in a studio and write 5 songs a day, 7 days a week about new topics and make it sound different, it's very, very impressive.
It is a sport. Yeah, it is a sport.
I mean, it's impressive, but it's definitely very possible. Like, I have a song on my album. If y'all know, I make music myself too, but I literally made a post on Instagram saying like, hey, I'm tired of hearing the same shit. Like, can somebody make a song talking about like sandwiches or something like that? And then somebody literally made a song talking about sandwiches, and it was fucking dope. Like, you can literally make songs about anything. I don't really think it's that difficult if you are actually musically talented.
Instead of one
but
song.
People want to talk about the bitches and the hoes all the time because that is what is controversial and attractive. That's all it is.
For a week, it's 5 songs a night, and we keep it pushing.
Not that artistry isn't appreciated, but it's more so like, all right, how fast are we getting this done?
We don't come.
Hold on, I want to go back to what she said right there. I wonder if she's an artist or an engineer. What does she do? She's talking about doing 5 songs a night. It's like, are y'all just pumping out songs just for the volume, or are y'all actually making quality music? You know how many songs I pick up from these DJ pools that they sound good for like a couple months, and then after that, it's like I just delete that shit from my computer, and I never hear anybody request it. None of that. So it's like, are y'all really just getting in these studios just like pumping out music just to like take up space on the fucking airways? Or are y'all actually trying to make quality fucking music?
It's very, very
Because this whole
impressive.
notion of like, I have like a lot of songs. It's like, nigga, you have like 1,000 songs. I know about 3 of them, you know?
Sport. Yeah, it is a sport to it.
Instead of one song for a week, it's 5 songs a night, and we keep it pushing.
Not that artistry isn't appreciated, but it's more so like, all right, how fast are we getting this done?
We don't come under the umbrellas of the people who write rap.
Let me go back to what he just said, bro. Very important.
5 songs a night, and we keep it pushing.
Not that artistry isn't appreciated, but it's more so like, all right, how fast are we getting this done?
We gonna come under the umbrellas of the people who write raps like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and I'm just saying that the unprofessional rap culture is what I'm
smoking that
kid
weed.
of. Guys who like, I'm just a street cat and I'm rapping.
I'm flipping the knuckle when bought me a gun. I jumped out the poacher and bought me a gun.
I just want like people to know that, like, you're not Jay-Z, you're not a failure.
It's about you. Whether you're writing on a phone, a piece of paper, punching in, off the dome, it doesn't matter.
Rapping to me like coming from like how I feel right then and there. Like me writing down ain't gonna be the same energy me saying it.
You can't really hold your technique over a younger generation.
He's right about that though. He's totally right about that, because you could tell if somebody's, for me personally, when I listen to some of these raps, some of their lyrics, it sounds like they're not writing it. But I'm going to give credit to the Migos in that last clip they showed with Offset and NBA Youngboy. That song that they did is called, I think it's called I Need It. That song is very impressive. And if they did that by punching in, that's super impressive. That's actually one of my favorite songs by the Migos is I Need It. That song is, they're very impressive. But when you are writing the songs down like by paper and you're reading it off your phone, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think Megan Thee Stallion does that. A lot of her songs, it does sound like she's reading off of something, which is cool. You could just kind of tell, you know. But a lot of these songs, what they are punching in, it's like you can kind of tell that as well. And to me personally, I just think the quality is just better when you are writing it down, because there's more thought, well, at least more of a cohesive thought put into it, rather than you freestyling it when you're drunk, high, or fucked up off pills and shit.
Ultimately, it is about just getting the best end result.
I done got rich off the sticks.
I respect it all, because it all takes work and it all takes thought. Whether you're sitting over a pad or you got to spend 4 hours figuring it out, piecing it together, punching in, at the end result moves people emotionally, the art is worth it.
Yeah, that's